Hello, and again, welcome to Bit Depth. I'm Santiago Ramones. Across from me is...
Psych The Wordsmith.
Heck yeah, man. I am only kind of recently getting into the rap scene of Oklahoma. And so, yeah, I mean, really, it's more like now that Sandeep had that Rap for Change album, I'm like, all right, I have a list.
Yes,
I have a list of people that like were featured on that thing, and like here are the people that are at least cool enough to work with Sandeep. So it's like, I know how cool Sandeep is. I know how cool these people are.
Right.
So first of all, who are you? What do you do?
Well, who am I? I'm gonna just say my real name, Clinton Blackwell Jr. That's my real name. I never really tell anybody my name's Psych The Wordsmith. But I mean, that's who I am. Every other day. I don't really like to talk a lot about music. I let it show for itself, you know what I'm saying? So, what do I do? I just try to live day to day and try to make sure everything's good. But honestly, I'm just an average person. Like, I mean, got an average job, bro. Like, I work at, right now, like I said, I just came from my church. I'm the creative. I really don't know what the title is. Creative director, worship coordinator. I really don't know. I'm just there to help and, you know, spread love, bro. You know what I mean? So, I do... What that all entails is like I do video editing. I do a lot of different presentations. I make certain videos that we promote out for our church, and I also have a tech team developed to where I can teach them the same things, so that way I don't have to do all this stuff. You know what I mean? And there's also I love to see also do. I'm making those videos, so you'll see me sometimes on the projector giving our announcements. So I do that as well. But once again, I'm get tired of seeing my face up there and I want somebody else to do it. You know what I mean? So, on the side of that, I work at Hobby Lobby. I'm just, I'll be packing boxes, bro. I used to be a supervisor. I don't really want to be a supervisor anymore because I don't like dealing with people. Like, I just don't, you know what I mean? So I do that as well. I also teach, acting and modeling for John Casablanca's. That's virtual. So when we have our Zoom meetings, I've taken a break on it just because the timing was off whenever I get, my main job. Sometimes I can't make those classes, so I have to work like either on the weekends or, whatever have you. And then out of that, I teach more so the acting side, just because I went to graduated from Cameron University in theater arts, and so that obviously helped out a lot. And so with modeling, I'm not too sure on that. So they really give me a lot of more acting classes, just because, I mean, that's what I know, and I teach what I know, teach what I've been taught by my professors. And I just try to help people out and encourage them on the daily, like with that, when it comes to that. And even if they need one-on-one rehearsals, I give them my email or my number and they can hit me up and we can go over certain things. And then on top of that, I DoorDash. So, man, just trying to get to the money, bro. Like, that's all it is. So that's who I am. That's what I do. Trying to just be a light in the world, bro. Yeah.
Where does the name Psych The Wordsmith come from?
This is crazy. I'm actually probably going to change it soon, but right now. So Psych The Wordsmith, literally what I did when I very first started, and that's like YouTube videos. Nobody knows about those. They're still up there, but
people are about to look for them.
When I did those, I was going under the name Infamous Supernova, and then that changed to Psychotic. Psychotic, I thought was a little too crazy, obviously, but because a lot of people call me a Christian rapper. That has actually changed because I still believe in God, but like the content has changed. So I took out Psychotic and just stuck with Psych with an E. And what was crazy about that is one time there was a Facebook message I got from Psych, the band, like they hit me up. I don't know why, but they were just like, hey, yeah, we see that you do music and your name's Psych. Have you ever heard of us? And I was like, I don't even know who y'all are. Like, I never heard of them. But I mean, I know they're still pretty, you know, well known. And so I looked them up. I'm like, dang, I didn't know y'all was a band. My bad. You know what I'm saying? He was like, yeah, you might think about changing your name because, you know, we were here first, basically, you know, like that, you know. And I'm like, I guess, bro, like, it's not that big of a deal. I'm just trying to get my music out there. So, I mean, I kept Psych with the E for a minute. And then I released a mixtape after my very first, I guess it was the second mixtape I did. And the Wordsmith came from, honestly, it came from, what's that show? Man, how can I forget it? It was on Netflix. Jada Smith was in it. A lot of different people were in it. It was The Get Down. I think this was, yeah, The Get Down. So they used that name, The Wordsmith, and I was like, okay. And then when I went back, I thought about, you know, like Chance the Rapper, and I was like, okay, Psych the Wordsmith. So that's what I did, you know. But now, like I said, I removed the E. The reason why I moved the E is just because people kept saying Psyche instead of Psych. And so that got on my nerves. And I was like, we're just going to remove that off. So anytime when the stuff that I'm going to start releasing now will be under that name. And my friend was funny because he was like, how you going to rebrand yourself and not rebrand yourself? And I was like, bro, I don't care. I'm just like doing what I do. You know what I mean? So it's like whatever. But that's where that came from. Probably like I said, in the next year or so, I'm going to change my name. I don't know what to what yet, but I want to have like also it's going to be two names because I want to have one, just a different personality of when I'm rapping. And that's kind of going to be like fun tracks, like just because I'm doing what I want. And then like the more spiritual, inspirational and intentional songs will be like my full like actual name. I actually put my full name into it. So yeah. For sure.
Names are hard, especially like as an artist that you're trying to do this thing that's just going to describe the thing that you do forever. And it's like, man, I don't know. I'm always changing too, right? And so, I mean, like for me personally, I just go as Santiago Ramones on everything. And so it's like whatever it is that I decide to do, be it ambient music or experimental stuff or singer-songwriter stuff, like this is all me. And I mean, you could do that with anything anyways, but like the name that you put on it like says something about it. And so it's like you hear Psych the Wordsmith and like, oh, this is probably a rapper. This is like you can at least get an idea of what's going on here. And so you're good. And whatever you change it to, I'm sure will be good too.
I appreciate that.
So I mean, acting, performing, rapping, video, modeling, where does this all begin?
I would say when I was in middle school, and I went to 2 private schools. So the second one I went to before I went to high school, I think that's when I really started getting into acting. And we had a play, I think it was for Easter. I can't remember which holiday it was, but I remember playing Jesus on that one. Mm-hmm. And so that was my very first, like, if I remember correctly, that was my very first play I had been in. And I think after that, we had...
I mean, Jesus is a good start. You're going way up there.
Exactly. Yeah, so kind of after that, when I went to Harding, and I did drama there, and I just I don't know, man, I kind of stuck with it just because that was something I love doing. I love musicals more. I haven't been in a musical in a minute, but I'm just actually starting getting back into plays because I got offered a role for this theater company. We were doing rehearsals now, so I'm kind of getting back into plays now as well. But I love musicals more just because of obviously the song, the instrumentation, definitely the dance, and then like having the movements, the rehearsals behind it, and then just the energy, like the energy that's filled into it is pretty amazing. And so like I just, after kind of doing that for so long, I remember being in Grease. I played Danny. Stupid. It was funny, but it was fun. And then we did Disney. I forgot which one it was. We played that too. I don't remember my role, but I know my drama teacher, Miss Gray, like she was always kind of pushing me. Like she was like, this is something you need to stick to, something you need to do. But that's kind of how it all started. I kind of fell into what people were telling me to, just because I didn't really know what I was doing, but it felt right just because I was loving it, and it was fun to get into the rehearsals. It was fun to memorize the lines. It was fun being around other actors and actresses that had the same passion as I had, But I will say, like, the music came first just because I loved listening to, grew up on old school, so my mom would play that in the car. All the old school jams that they had on the radio, I'll hear those every time when I got off from school. Like, my mom picked me up. And then really, I would say I started like just freestyling, and that's what I started. I had a little pixel camera, and I'm using that, standing that up, recording myself. Sometimes I would just record the video camera. the laptop that I had, because I didn't want people to see my face, but and I would just freestyle and put that up on YouTube. And then I actually started writing, and this is actually funny. I wanted to sing first. I remember I wrote my first song, I'm singing, I'm in the bathroom, chilling, singing, rehearsing the song. I get out of the bathroom, I go to my mama and I'm like, hey mama, I want to show you something. And she was like, okay. And so I started singing the song. And the way I sang it, she was like, so this is what you this is what you want to do? I was like, yeah, this is really, and it was, I can't remember the song, but the way I sang it, it was not it wasn't black, basically, you know what I'm saying? And so when she heard it though, she was like, okay, well, I'm with you, whatever you want to do. So kind of after that too, I actually started rapping though. But I would listen to Fresh Prince. I would listen to his albums heavy, and then I would listen to a lot of Christian rap, a lot of Lecrae. I listened to old Lecrae. That's kind of what I grew up on, and I never really listened to gangster rap and all of that. I wasn't allowed to, so I didn't really start learning about that till I got to high school, really. And even then, I was still lost because there was a lot of songs that people were singing. I'm like, I don't know what y'all talking about, So, but that's kind of where the rapping came into place, and I feel like that happened a little bit before acting, and all of that just kind of meshed together even more while I was in high school and in college. Yeah. And when I got to college, though, is when I really started. Because I was actually cussing more in my raps before I got to college. And I met one of my good friends. He's an artist too now. He goes by King Leo. We were roommates in college, and I heard his music. He gave me his CD and everything. And I was listening to it. I was like, dang, he's not cussing. So I think I can do the same thing. And it just actually took the time to write and actually try to write positively. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where it all took place. Dancing, bro, I don't know how to dance. I just kind of move my body and because I seen other people and my friends dancing. I'm like, dang, how you dancing like that? Just the steps and everything like that. But it's still amazing to even know them because they're actually putting the time in, But yeah, when it comes to rapping and acting like that, it's just, that's kind of how it all meshed together. It's just different stations that I've been a part of. And
would you major in college?
Theater arts.
There you go.
Emphasis in performance. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And yeah.
So I guess I have to acknowledge the distinction of what a Black performer is versus, anyone else, is that and especially in theater world, is that yes, there is, Black musicals and stuff, but you you're saying, you're in Greece. It's that was not written for Black people. So I mean, and that's the weird place in especially theater world that is so it's white feeling anyways, and the style of songs and the stuff, but like that's still an influence, right? Like and so I guess yeah, what was your experience going through the theater world as a Black dude, is sort of being what I guess, yeah, how, like what did they expect you to be, being who you wanted to be, and all that sort of thing?
So when it comes to in high school, I think we did I every time, bro, like I try to get, Black plays like Fences, August Wilson, a lot of different other Black plays that we could have done, Raisin in the Sun. I mean, like, try to let them know about Black playwrights, like, I'm like, hey, can we do this? Can we do this? The only time we ever did it was like in class. We never really had it on stage, of course, right? And then the same thing happened in college. Like, cause we were in college, bro, like we was doing Greek plays, bro. Like, I'm like,
we got time for Lysistrata, but we can't do freaking Raisin in the Sun.
You feel me? And then I think we did Oedipus too. And I'm just like, bro, it's cool. Like the timing of it, like how they pace, how the characters act. And like when you go through all of that, that's cool and everything. I just cannot relate, bro. Like I just can't, and like, it's really cool too. I did enjoy it because like I learned like different cultures and stuff like that. And also those different playwrights and what we looked into and how we're supposed to act. And it was a lot of different plays I didn't know about and we learned about and we read it. And I mean, it was nice to see. It was nice to be in those certain performances. And there was also times, bro, like when we did it, I just wasn't in it. And like that reflected upon my performance. Sometimes that reflected upon rehearsals where I just wasn't fully enthralled because I'm not used to this. You know what I mean? And the fact that I tried to, bring it up. Not even try. I did bring it up. Like I went to the professor, the main one. I'm like, hey, can we try to do Raisin in the Sun? It just wasn't, it was slow playing. I was like, maybe. I'm like, dude, yes or no? You know what I mean? So, it's just all dependent. I mean, he was a great professor. Like he helped me out a lot. Just with timing and with, kind of building upon my character to how I'm supposed to act and how I can memorize better and stuff like that. But trying to adapt to what it is they had on their schedule was hard. And on top of that, we had to build a set. So it's like, which was cool too. It was really cool because, of course, learning how to be precise in measurements, making sure that everything is aligned perfectly. And even when stuff messes up, knowing how to problem solve and how to make things fit if something, unexpected happens. So that was one thing I really appreciated too. I couldn't tell you how to do it now because that was a long time ago. But even like the lighting, like, I mean, I learned about the light board, the sound board. I actually did sound design for one of the shows. Which I learned a lot of different music. So I think that was cool too, just because it was the time like with Sinatra and, the Rat Pack and all of them, hearing all of those type of sounds. And once again, I mean, there was Black music then too. And it's like, they wasn't doing that. And it's like, yeah, it's people better than them, bro. Like, I mean, on some real, but, she had a specific way of like what was going to be accepted. And like I said, the people that I found, I was like, oh, I mean, they're cool. I never really heard them. So, kind of getting adjusted to those types of things. All of those different areas that I had to adjust to, like it was cool. It was fine. I just wish we would have done those different plays, you know what I mean? So
yeah, I mean the code switching is a thing, but not even just like code switching, but like behavior switching,
yes,
right?
Yes,
like,
yeah, I see what you're saying.
And I mean I like barely was in theater stuff myself anyways, but like, yeah, the expectations are different. So I mean, one thing that I can see is that like you've more found yourself over time of like how to express yourself, even through all of these different influences, even through the theater influences. So I guess, in what ways did you find that it became more you? Your performance and your music and whatever, you know?
So I would say probably after I would, because there was one play that we did. It was called Dark River. I'll never forget it. Totally different play. I feel like I was typecast, but that's fine. It's whatever. But personalization when it comes into feeding off that character and trying to make it your own, and not just mimicking what you've seen before. You know what I mean? I think that's one big thing about it, just because, and that goes even just for music too, just because, I mean, we have cadences, we have influences and things of that nature, but making it your own to where you are set apart. You know what I mean? So that happened with that play, just because I delved a little deeper, and that was something that it kind of stuck to me. Like, I felt like I was very connected to that character, just because the demons that character had when it came to drinking, when it came to acting out wild, stuff like that. And then now the violent part, I'm not violent, but you know what I'm saying? It was just a certain way of how I built that character. He was like, something happened with, I guess, I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember, but I can tell you that he was a very ferocious character, if you will, you know, and he was like very combative to the point where he about to bring a bat and hit somebody, you know. It was like, wow, like crazy. But the aggression that character brought, and how I saw like what he was feeling, because he felt like he was done wrong. So those feelings that we're trying to defend ourselves, we bring that type of energy to the table because we feel like, you know, we're in the right, you know. And I very, very much so felt that instantly, because that was my whole life, you know, especially during college and even now, like, you know, just a lot of different things that I've been through, and I feel like nobody sees my side, you know what I mean? And so now it doesn't really justify my actions and how I act and how I may go off on people or something like that, or, you know, because it's like, you don't have to do that. It's really not, it's not that deep. But I just feel like I understand, you know what I mean? And that's what, when they came to that character, and like even just finding myself, and how exactly I can share myself to other people and give a piece of myself to people, so that way they can know the true me, is something that's, you know, imperative. So hopefully that answered the question.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So what is a deep or nitty gritty or advanced thing that is in your music that you're like super proud of, and even if nobody notices, you're like, I worked really hard on that thing?
I think the concept behind it, of my projects, and like trying to put like different skits and trying to build a story, especially like the last one I did, because I had put out a EP. It was probably just a mixtape on SoundCloud a long time ago, where I put like different skits and try to build like a story, but it really, like, not a lot of people saw that. But like you said, like, I know I did that, you know what I mean? So this one that I just put out, I feel like it's more so like that inner part of me. I had another album called Inner Sense too. It's Inner Sense, but I have a lot of thoughts in my mind, and I spread those thoughts into the album itself, so you can see what exactly I'm saying to myself, I should say. You know what I mean? So it's like every time I'm paranoid, or every time I'm just like seeing a lot of red flags, like I hear these voices, you know, but I'm not listening all the time, you know what I mean? Because I'm just kind of straightforward. I'm like, nah, that can't be it. That can't be it. You know what I mean? And also, I know God's voices inside of me too, just because that overpowers all the other little voices that's inside of my head. You know what I mean? So, and the reason why I know that's his voice is because I'm already thinking about it, and then something happens and it just correlates. You know what I mean? And it's like, that was just on my mind. Like, whether it be a person that I maybe had a dream about or something, or either I just saw this person and then the situation that has happened, they're involved some type of way. And then I'm seeing different signs and it's all like aligning together. And I'm like, bro, what? You know, so it's like something that I prayed about too. And also just talked to God about, because I just talk aloud to myself, and that's me talking to him, you know. But now the other voices that's in my head, it's like, I say inner sense just because we have those senses inside of us that is bouncing back and forth, you know, just going back and forth. And it's like, you don't know which one to listen to. That's sometimes how I'll be like, and I'm still dealing with that. That's why I'm pretty sure I'm going to put out a part 2 to Inner Sense, because there's a lot of deeper stuff that I haven't told anybody. That's why I tell people things, but I express a lot, like 100% in my music, just because that's the only way to do. That's how I see it. That's the only way to do it. I mean, you don't want to tell everybody everything, but at the same time, like, if you're open about it and you know you're forgiving yourself about things, or you just open because that person might be going through the same thing. You never know. And I just want to be that vessel, so that people will know, everything's gonna be okay. You know, at the end of the day, that's how I see it. So yeah.
Why music, or why performance? Why this thing?
Bro, there's nothing else, to be honest, because like, I just, like, literally this has to be it. You know what I mean? Whether or not, I don't have to be famous. I don't have to, it's more so the passion behind it, and helping people grow to reach their full potential. And if somebody can say, hey, I heard your song and that really had me up today, and I appreciate you putting this on here, like that, if anything, like, I don't care about a Grammy, bro. I don't care about awards. I don't care about being the best. Like, if I just hear that from somebody, that's it. Like, that's really all it is. At the one point I used to want to be, I want everybody to know that I rap. I want to be noticed. I want to be the person, in the conversation. I don't care no more, bro. Like, I really don't. It is what it is. Like, I love seeing other people, like, and I'll say this too, like, I get envious when I see other artists, it's local artists, and seeing how they're growing and how they are gaining all of this, have like all these accomplishments and gaining all of this notoriety. But it's not envy to where I'm just like harping on the profile, like, man, you suck, like, stuff like that. It's just more so like, it pushes me. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause like, not even just to be where they are, but just to define more of who I'm supposed to be. You know what I mean? So that's where that envy comes from. And it's nowhere near like, I have nothing against nobody. It's just like, I drive off of that. You know what I mean? I'm like, dang, okay, I know I gotta get to it. I gotta get to the work. And that's why I'm like, now, like I said, finally got my equipment. I'm just trying to like push and just stay consistent, and if anything, bro, music, I'm gonna stay consistent on it. I could be 85, bro, and I'm
Yeah,
you
man.
know what I'm saying? Like,
Snoop Dogg just got into Call of Duty. Like, what?
Like, I'm gonna still be pushing, you know what I'm saying? So like, whether that be helping other people, being in the studio, because I love doing that too. I've done that in the past where I've had people come over and they just record, and I make stuff down for them, and they say they enjoy it. And I mean, I'm like, okay, here, and I don't charge. Like, I'm just, at the end of the day, it's all about the music. It's all about helping others. You know what I mean? So, now if I get something set up like this, I'm gonna charge. You know what I'm saying? For real.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
No, but I'm just saying,
gotta make money.
you know what I'm saying? You gotta make money. Yeah. So for sure.
Last two things. What's something people don't normally know about you?
They probably don't know that I talk to myself and answer my own questions. And also a lot of people don't know. A lot of people don't know that I do music. Just because, like I said earlier, I'm not the person to put it out there. So when people come around, it's like, wait, you rap? Like, you do this? Because especially people like in my job, just because they overheard me on a conversation, I'm talking to somebody like, hey, I'll be at the studio like that. And they're like, wait, you rap like that? So people at my job, there's people been at my church, or other like mutual friends are like, I didn't know you did music. Like, it's great. I just, like I said, it's just something I don't express, but probably the talking to myself, a lot of people don't know that.
I mean, I feel like a lot of people talk to themselves and they just never tell anybody.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Because I mean, like, I'm doing it. And I mean, I have no problem saying, I'll let you know, but it's like, that's something I do.
But and this is like really, I feel like it's a cool thing whenever you tell someone you do music and they check it out and they're like, whoa, like, dang, this is really good. Like, and you're like, yeah.
It's something. It's something.
Last question on this front. What advice do you have for people wanting to get into music, get into rapping?
Know exactly what it is you want to spread. What content you want to spread. What type of person that you want to be, like persona that you want to build as you're going through that journey. Also pray about the people that you surround yourself with, because especially in this industry, it's grimy. It can be grimy, you know what I mean? And you don't know who's listening. You don't know who's stealing, not even just stealing, just like that energy that you have around you. Like, you always want that to be a good vibe. You don't want negative people in your circle. You don't want negative people around you, working with you when it comes to music, and then also I would say, have a good marketing strategy as well. That's because you can be super talented, but if you ain't got no marketing and you don't know what to do, you're not really gonna go a lot. I mean, you can be the baddest artist. You can, have the baddest lyrics, like, I mean, actual, like, influential lyrics. Mm-hmm. But if nobody's hearing you, I mean, it's going to waste, and that sucks. It shouldn't have to, I feel like it shouldn't have to be that way, but I mean, that's where we are, And then I will also say, just stay consistent, like, keep creating, even if it's trash, like, just keep creating. Like, it's not always going to be that way. And I would say, don't, I mean, you can share your music, like, with, send people, because I used to do this a lot. I used to send my tracks a lot to my friends and stuff, so they can hear. I mean, that's cool and all, but, like, other times it's like, that's not, just do you, man. Like, just put it out, feedback is good. Feedback is great. I guess choose wisely who you send it to too. You know what I mean? So, that's another thing I would say. And I think one more I would say is, be very mindful how, like, when you're investing, like, especially when it comes to promotion, when it comes to music videos, even equipment, if you're doing it yourself, or going to the studio, just be mindful of, you don't have to rush, because I used to do that a lot too. I used to rush to try to get stuff out and blow all my money in, music, and then I gotta pay bills, you know what I mean? So, so you don't want to be broke, you want to be prosperous. So, but that was like way back when. That was just like when I was starting. I'm like, man, I gotta get this out. Because I used to want to, like, have my stuff out before anyone else, so that way I'll know. It's not always about time. Like, it's not always about being the fastest out to do it, Yeah. So, that's probably the last thing I would say.
Okay.
For sure.
Switching gears into the deep stuff, the questions that make bit depth. What is the role of spirituality or religion in your life?
Okay, that's a perfect question. So the role of spirituality is I feel like, of course, that is completely different from religion. Just mainly because I know spiritual people, which they're not always talking about Jesus. They're not always talking about God. And I don't necessarily have all the answers when it comes to that type of spirituality. The spirituality I'm talking about is just, I know I'm not perfect. I know I'm going to mess up. Like, I'm not really into the political nature of church, like to where you got to have all these titles, stipulations, all these grounds, and you have to walk a certain way. You have to wear certain things. You have to have 50 million tithes, like for what? 50 million offerings for what? Like, giving money to the church, which I tithe myself, but there's a difference between just asking for money and just believing that people are going to support your church no matter, you know what I mean? So, so when it comes to me, spirituality, I feel like that's something to where you're building a relationship. I say with God, just because the reason why I used to believe because my parents told me to believe. Now I don't do that. Like, I actually believe because I firmly believe because he's brought me out of so much. There's so many blessings that he's given me that I should not deserve. And that's just like little stuff. It's not money. Like, that's just my life, my house, my daughter. Like, I mean, stuff that I've done, dumb things, but he's brought me out just because I know he loves me. And also, just me, believing as well. And I think also when it comes to spirituality, it's really all about growth as well. Not being so hard on yourself, which I do that a lot. I do that a lot, heavy, especially when it comes to spirituality, because I know I could be doing more. And then like meditation too, I could be doing a whole lot more. So, but when it comes to the growth, like, as long as you're just doing, like, even if it's minuscule, you know what I mean? Like, to where it's bettering you in some type of way, that's all that matters. Like, it ain't gotta be no whole spiel to where you're like, you got, I don't know, 1,000 badges or something. You did something great. You got all these accomplishments. It's just something little to where, okay, you didn't do this today. You got through it. You're becoming a better person. That's just, it takes time. It takes it's day by day. And, so definitely with growth, and then like with the relationship, it's just, are you really giving your all into it? Are you really giving your 100%, 110% and more, really, to the point where you want to do it? It doesn't have to be, it's not a requirement. It's not a, what's another word? It's not to the point where, God is making you do it. It's like you actually want to be closer, your spirit within your soul. And I also think that when it comes to spirituality, it does get super deep, because it's like you're going back. With me, and I try not to dwell on the past, but you're going back and looking back over like where you come from, where you were, and knowing good and well, like, you should not be here. I remember just me, and I mean, I say it, bro, like, I was like drinking and driving like it was nothing. Should have crashed, to be honest. And I mean, multiple times. But it's like, those are the type of things I always remember. And then like, there was a time I think what did I do? I did something else dumb. I just doing a lot of dumb things, bro. Like, I really do. And oh yeah, okay, I'll tell you this. Okay, so there was a time I was driving, and and I have a problem. I fall asleep at the wheel too. It's really bad. And I actually have a doctor's appointment next week about it. But I think I might have like either sleep apnea or narcolepsy or something. And so, like, when I'm driving, like, you get in that comfortable space and I'm like nodding, bro. So there was another time. So I was driving and I was over here, let's see, Northeast 23rd. and I was driving around, and I guess, like I said, I fell asleep at the wheel. I guess I didn't hit nobody, but it was like I was about to hit. This dude comes up behind me. He's like, no, he comes up beside me. He's like, hey, yo, watch where you going. You know, like that, like, oh, what's up? Like, we can do. I'm like, I'm just like, bro, I don't want no problem, you know, like that. But that could have escalated to something worse. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's happened twice, because another time I was on my way to work, and that's when I was working like the night shift, so I was definitely tired. And then this guy, I remember I picked up my friend too, and we had pulled into work, and I had parked, and he pulled up right behind me, and he was just like yelling, like, he's like, hey, watch where you going next time. What he say? He said, I told him, I said, bro, I was falling asleep at the wheel. I'm sorry. He's like, no, you need to watch where you're going. You about to hit my car. And I was just like, hey, chill like that. So it's just like stuff like that, bro. I've been through a lot of situations where I just feel like God he took that, and that spirituality comes into play, because it's just like, you're just being yourself too. You're being real, and God knows how you act, and he just be having to protect you, you know? And I know a lot of people, you know, when people pray for you, you know, that's that band of protection as well too. And that's why I try my very best to pray for everybody, even people I don't know. Cause you know what I'm saying? Like, not to just accept that in return. It's just like me genuinely wanting people to be okay. And like, cause you don't know what's going on with people. Like, you don't know what people are going through. You don't know if they have, you know, they don't have a house to stay in, or they don't have family or anything like that, you know? In the same way with just being a good person. Like, you know, you don't want to be mean to somebody, because you don't know when you're going to need somebody as well. Like, but I think that spirituality is just completely different from religion, bro. Just because it's pure. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's just, you look inside your spirit, and that's going to be fully you. Like, that's going to be Santiago. Like, this is going to be CJ. Like, it's just, it's different, because that's your spirit, and it's my spirit, but God knows who we are, because he looks at us, and he knows our behaviorisms. He knows how we're going to act. He knows, what we're going to do before we even do it. Like, you know what I mean? So, and I mean, and then the same thing about the Bible too, bro. Like, there are some things I wish I would have wrote these verses down, but there's some verses like I read, and I was just like, and I'm like, I don't know, you know, like that. And then like going back to religion once again, they say you're not supposed to question God. You're not supposed to. I'm like, well, how does that make it a relationship? I'm a question. Like, I'm gonna ask these questions, and I mean, there's sometimes I'll ask, I don't get an answer, and I mean, like, that's the end of that. And there's sometimes I do ask, and then they'll appear, you know. So that's kind of where I am with that, because that goes into, it's like, you talking about I can't question God. Like, this isn't your relationship. Like, this isn't your spirit. Like, you know, so definitely when it comes to spirituality, like, I think that it is a chance for you to be you, you know, and be free, and then you're purely yourself. You know what I mean? I think that spirituality is the best thing you can have. And like, for those that don't believe in God, like, they have their own spirituality, that like, that's, once again, that's their relationship. That's what they're going to do, you know? And I feel like people shouldn't be judged off of that either. Like, you know, that's their life, you know? So that's how I feel.
When did your faith become your own?
That's a great question. I'm gonna have to say probably like during college. I had a case of seizures during college. And I was smoking weed. So, and it was after I was smoking weed, I had a seizure. I'm like, you're supposed to prevent this. I don't understand. You know, so, but, and I also dealt with sleep paralysis too a lot. And I actually had it heavy in college, and that's how I was drinking a lot too. So it was, probably then, just because I had several occasions to where I was actually gasping for air, because I'm pretty sure there was a demon in my room tipping me over, trying to like pummel my face in the pillow so I couldn't breathe. Like, cause like literally I would just catch myself. And I feel like that was when, you know, God woke me up and I'm just like really like, and that happened like a couple times, you know, and it's just, I don't know, but I feel like those type of times, cause how I would pray, like I actually had a really, really good prayer life during that time. Still getting back to where I need to be, you know, but I feel like that was the point where my faith became my own because I was going through school, procrastinating. But I still would make, you know, pass the class, you know what I'm saying? Still would come out with good grades. And then also still was able to graduate, you know what I mean? And I feel like that none of that would have happened had I not talked to him, had I not prayed about it. And that was, like I said, once again, I wasn't even listening to my parents, like how they were telling me how to read the Bible or how they were telling me, well, you need to, especially more so my mom, like you need to meditate every day. You need to have 5 minutes, just start slowly like that. I wasn't doing that. Like on some real, I just wasn't like it was like here and there, like I would open the Bible or here and there I would pray or, I more so what I did, like I said, I talk aloud. So if anything, I'm just talking to God. Like I'm not really getting into the word like that. But my faith became my own during college just because I was going through so much, putting myself through so much. And he still loved me because I was trusting him a lot. I was trusting him a lot. And I did that because, like I told you before, like in my mind, either I have a dream or something, it was just like all correlating. And like, so the reason behind it, what he was telling me, and how people were acting and how certain situations were arising, I said, so that's why that happened. This is why this is going on right now. And it was all like making sense. And that's when I really started believing. I said, okay, yeah. And so, even the faith to get up and be consistent. And even when I was acting, you know, I'm like praying about it. I'm like, God, just please help me like with these lines. Cause I was having problems memorizing too, you know, and trying to stay consistent. And I mean, he did, you know, it just happened, you know? And so that was probably the main, cause even when I was in high school, bro, like I was just going to church just because like, it was cool to go to church where I went and everything. But even like listening to the sermon, I wasn't there. Like I was just kind of in my own place, you know. But I mean, like, of course I had to go to church, but it wasn't a point where, I mean, it wasn't an obligation like that to where I'm like, I mean, because I did enjoy going, but I just wasn't into it like I am now. Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? So that's probably where my faith became my own. Yeah. That's what I would say.
Yeah. What is your definition of God?
I go with he's our creator. And honestly, bro, like we say he, people say she. I don't care at the end of the day, bro. Like it's God. And I think I do believe that God is how you make it too. I believe that I believe in God, the Holy Spirit, and Jesus Christ. I definitely do believe that. Now, when it comes to God as this whole entity, I can see how, I can understand how some people may say that, like how God is, I guess in a sense, we are God. I can see that. I think if that is the case, I am the type of person, you got to capitalize God. Like you got to capitalize that. Now, if we were God, like that would have to be like lowercase, just because I feel like that's just how it is. Like I've just got to that point where we don't have the same level of thinking that he or she had, you know what I'm saying? Like, and we still are humans, you know what I'm saying? Now, when people say like I can see how we could be God because we make things happen, but don't forget who created you and don't forget who's helping you above, you know what I'm saying? And around, not even just above, like everywhere, you know? Now, I have heard like everything is God, and I'm like the symbol here. Is that God? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, stuff like that, you know? But God to me personally is just, he's my creator. And the only reason why I'm still alive, despite everything that's happened, that's probably my take on it. Trying to think because I have there's something else to say. I think also God to me is, how can I say? It's a mind state, mentality. Kind of how you make the day. In a way, I could get down with that too, just because we really are. Even though we didn't create ourselves, but I feel like we do make life how it is. We make our own decisions. We speak it, we believe it. And it happens. And those words, those affirmations, I do get down with those too. I do believe in those. It's just a matter of the action, though. And making it happen. So, but now I'm gonna have to say, ultimately, God is just the reason why I'm alive, bro.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah. What do you think happens when we die?
Oh, man, I've been thinking about that, bro. I think heaven is gonna look like they say, like it says in the Bible. But I think it's going to be better than what it says in the Bible. And I think also when we dream, when we die, we go wherever we dream. You know what I'm saying? Because, and I don't really get too much into the multiverse or whatever. You know what I mean? I think it's cool though. Just because I think I saw something online, and I don't know if it was, pretty sure it was an incredible source, but, to where when we are dreaming, we're just on those different planes or whatever, wherever the case may be. And then I also thought about The Good Place. Mm-hmm. Thought about that too. I think we when we die, I think I also thought about wherever we think we're gonna go, whatever heaven. Because with heaven being that state of mind, when we die, whatever we see heaven as, or wherever we see the afterlife as, that's where we're going to be. And I feel like God is just going to be there. I also sometimes feel like, I was also in this other play called The Waiting Room. And I feel like that exists as well, just because, that void space, white, maybe black, I don't know, whatever color it may be, while we are waiting to go where we're going to go. I do believe in hell. And I feel like that is a real thing. And I think hell is worse than what is depicted as well. So, but I think, like I said, where we go, wherever you, however you depict your afterlife, what it's going to be like, I think that's most likely where we go when we die. Cool. So that's how I feel.
How do we reduce the division between people?
Reduce the division between people, as in we need to be more united, or what do you mean?
I mean, yes, but yeah, usually this question kind of has a political context anyways, just because of what we're dealing with anyways. Yeah. But in general, division.
Okay. You said, how do we stop reduce it? Man, I think we all just need to sit down, and I mean, that sounds very ambitious, but there needs to be I don't know, some type of panel or something to where we all just talk out whatever it is, what we don't like about each other or whatever we don't agree with, and then come to a resolution to where on some type of balance, some type of agreement to where we can come together and be just united and go for the same thing. Cause it's just usually it's just people thinking they're better than each other, or just ultimate pettiness, or either, I'm trying to think what else, ignorance. I don't know, man. I think that really should happen. I think we also, everyone needs to be retaught how to love, bro. Cause like love at the end of the day is what brings us all together. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if we, I feel like I can't hate anybody. You know what I'm saying? I can't. Like, I'll be petty, but I cannot hate though. I cannot hate. Like, I don't hate nobody at all. And I think that's something that we just, like I said, it's ambitious, but if we just sit down and talk it out and just like be civil about it and get some understanding across and talk about love, like I think that can reduce that division. Yeah, for sure.
Do you believe humans are evil by nature?
I feel like, I feel like it could maybe be possible. Maybe. But 9 times out of 10, I feel like that's taught though. I mean, because you can have somebody just born that way, and it's just like, I mean, I don't know, because I feel like there's going to be evil in the world, you know, but I feel like it is about upbringing. It's about upbringing. But I do feel like people just want to be evil, you know. Yeah, they working for Satan, or they just working for themselves, and they just want people to burn, and they just love being evil. And it's just like, why, you know? So I think by nature, I think it's a possibility. I don't think that's always the case though. Just because, I mean, there are dictators out there and stuff, but I feel like that's more political than anything. So I don't know, man. I think it is a possibility though. And I think that maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, that's a valid answer.
Maybe.
What do you think humanity is heading towards in the future?
These are some great questions, bro. Some great questions. Okay, say it again. Humanity.
What do you think humanity is heading towards in the future?
Whew. Not looking good.
It's not.
It's not looking good at all. We are heading to so bad, like a lot of bad stuff. Yeah, it's something. Just I look at, you know, I don't really get into politics and all that stuff. I do not like politics at all, bro. But I think about. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Do you get into conspiracies, or?
It depends.
Depends.
Go for it.
So like, so we think about like, you know, entertainment, right? We're talking about entertainment anyway, right? So like with the movies and stuff, is that just like, what's the word I'm looking for? Foreshadowing of what's to come in the near future. Like in the movies, I'm talking like, of course, you know, like iRobot or like 2012. Of course, 2012 didn't, you know, that didn't happen in 2012. But I'm just saying, like movies like that, like to where it's like you would think this could happen. You know, do you think that's foreshadowing for?
Maybe it's just because I think with like entertainment, it's just artists, and depending on which context, how loose of a term you might say artist, but
yeah, I got you.
But like we as artists ourselves too are a reflection of what is around us, right? And so it's not even so much like a conspiracy to be like, oh, look what's coming, but more so of just, we are thinking about this, right? And it's like, this is a way that it could go. And maybe by putting it out there, we're like showing how bad it would be and hopefully preventing it, or maybe showing some of the things that like might lead to it. And so it's like, hey, let's not do that, you know?
Trying to like get the blueprint.
Yeah,
you know
yeah. It's like, hey, like you saw how this went. Like, let's not do that. So
Exactly.
Yeah, where, you know, art imitates life, imitates art, imitates life.
Yeah. Yes. I was going to say too, so another thing, so like distractions, I'll say, so like, because at the same time, like with the Will Smith thing, I think it was I don't know if it was that same week or whatever when it happened, but I know I saw, with Ukraine and stuff like that. It was like, what was it? The bomb. Let's see. Did they basically, like, children died, and some other families died, and I'm like, but we talking about Will Smith. Mm-hmm. Like those type of distractions. Why are we so
distractible?
Why is that? How do you think?
We can get into that in the second one.
Okay.
But because we've been taught to but yeah. Let me get back to questions.
Go ahead.
What are you optimistic about for our future?
That's good. I would say I'm hoping that there won't be another pandemic for another
decade at least. This is usually how the clock goes.
Yeah, honestly, like, just because it just sucks, man. Because it's like, and then, okay, so here's another thing. Sorry to go off track, bro.
You're good.
So with the whole thing with COVID, is it real? Is it real?
Have you had COVID?
I mean, you said, have I had it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this
I've had it twice.
So here's my other question. So have you ever thought of, like, the symptoms, right? Mm. What if it was not COVID and something else? Like flu-like symptoms and the allergy-like symptoms and stuff like that. But you get tested for it and then they pop up and they say, oh, you got COVID. But what if it wasn't COVID?
So this is where the, like, conspiracy, I have to, like, make sure. I listen to, like, several, like, not necessarily, like, anti-conspiracy podcasts, but just, like, they question
Gotcha.
Hysteria.
Okay.
And people tend to assume that things are far more under control than they really are. The truth is, nobody knows what they're doing. There's, like, yeah, we got, like, a test out here and it verifies this thing. And it's like, this is what we know the COVID thing is. And it's like the person at the lab, doesn't know what COVID itself looks like. They haven't seen it under the microscope, but they know that whenever the test shows this is positive, they know how to, like, tell when it's positive, right? And so it's just like, that's it. Like, we just, like, refine it, everything as simple as possible, because, like, we really don't, like, nobody knows what we're doing. And it's like, I don't know what COVID is. It's a virus. I know, like, people share pictures of it. It's like, yeah, it has, like, the round ball thing, and it's like, that's how it, like, scientifically is able to latch on and is spreadable through the air and all that sort of things. But it's like, I'm not a freaking microbiologist or whatever. I'm not a epidemiologist, and so, like, I don't have the knowledge there to be able to, like, interpret, like, whether or not a COVID test is, like, a real COVID test. It's just like, look, and I can't spend the time to like and so
no, exactly.
There are many people who are, like, paid to make sure that people don't die,
right?
And this is what they suggest. And, we do that with our doctors, with other stuff. They've figured out that, like, from very basic stuff to very complicated stuff, that, like, these are the things that will and won't hurt you. And so it's like, you can figure out for yourself that when you, like, put your hand on the stove, it's going to be hot and it's going to burn you. But, like, also, you don't know, or we didn't know for years, that like lead in paint and gasoline was killing us. And actually, like, whenever there's enough exposure, that makes us actually more violent over the years. And so, like, that's a little bit more complicated. I couldn't have figured that out by myself.
Right.
But like, they did. And so it's chaos. Like, we're just figuring it out. Nobody knows really.
Exactly. The only reason why I asked that is because, you know, she at work and they're saying like, somebody said like, oh, truth, actually, COVID ain't real. And I was like, okay. And then like, it was another one said, you know, the flu-like symptoms and stuff. And I'm like, I mean, I can see, I just like, how are you doing? Like, we're going deep, you know. And we're just picking at the brain and stuff like that. And I was like, you know, it makes you think as well. But like, I've known people that died from COVID, bro. And it's like, and even if it wasn't just COVID itself, COVID enhanced that, or, you know, like it exacerbated like what was going to happen, like, you know, because they had those conditions already. So it's like, bro, it's here, you know.
It's something.
Yeah, it's something. Right, exactly. You know, so, but go ahead. What's your
but I mean, like, yeah, it hits people different, right? So I mean, like, some you said earlier is like, oh, you like were smoking weed and it like messed you up, you know?
Exactly.
And it's like, it hits people different. Everything hits people different. And so like for some people, it's the best. They're smoking weed all the time. They're like, man, it like chills me out. It helps me like expand my thoughts and everything. It's like, yeah. And for some people, they hit that. They just cough real bad and they're like, I don't like it. And I feel really paranoid and I don't like what's going on. So like, I'm just going to, it hits people different. It's not for everyone. And it's like, in the same way, it's like there's this virus that we don't know a whole lot about. We know a lot more about it now than we did 3-4 years ago. And so like some people that were like young and healthy, it killed them. And then what we notice is that also mostly older people and people with comorbidities die from it as well.
Right.
So it's like,
yeah, it's like,
it hits people different.
Right. Exactly. I think I'll get back to being optimistic though. I think I'm hoping like for, I don't know, better. I'm really hoping for better, I guess, in a way, leadership, but at the same time, you know, what is a leader in this country? You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm also hoping better for, honestly, even though, I mean, I like being in Oklahoma, but I'm hoping better for Oklahoma just because there's a lot of things happening, a lot of big things, and then people I'm meeting too, and hearing, and then like my friends that are artists, they're progressing. I'm hoping to see someone that I know just get out of here. You know what I'm saying? And I'm hoping for really not even just like a lot of people, just because I want them to make it, you know, like really be up there and just be in their success, you know what I'm saying? Even if that's at home, you know what I mean? Like, so, but yeah, for sure.
What makes you content?
Food. Yeah, food. It gotta be food. And
what food came to mind just then?
Quesadillas.
Nice.
And like, I would say quesadillas with some fries or either some pasta, whatever pasta may be. I love Alfredo. And then like when I get home, I'm gonna cook some like I use turkey meat. Like I use that, put that in, you know, that's anything I use with meat. Like I just eat turkey and chicken. And I mean, like if I eat beef, it's just gonna be a burger, but I don't eat burgers a lot like I used to. Cause I used to like go to the store, get the patties, cook them up. And I mean, I was in there chefing it up almost every night, bro, with these burgers, cheese, lots of cheese on it. I mean, putting sauce in the burger, saucing it up, bro. Like I used to do that heavily, but now I just kind of, I want to get into like plant-based though, just because of course that's healthier. But, the only thing I've had a plant-based is just like the chicken. Which was, I was surprised, to be honest. I was like, dang, this is actually really good. I just need to keep eating it. So, so my body will be okay. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, that makes me most content along with, music. Yeah, for sure. Food and music. Yeah.
When will you be satisfied?
Probably when I'm dead.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, just because I know, no more pain, bro. No more like feelings. You know what I mean? Like, it's just free.
Yeah.
That's probably when. And I mean, like, I'll say too, like, when I'm older and I'm like comfortable financially, stable, I'll be satisfied then. But ultimately, I'm gonna be like, deuces when I'm out here. You know what I mean? So, for sure.
What advice do you have for people in general?
Guard your soul, bro. Guard your spirit. Definitely, by all means, pray for who you hang out with, and take time for yourself, because I'm the type of person. I've done like I'm do myself now, but I used to be like out almost every night. You know, whether it's just like working when I was door dashing and stuff, but like take care of your health, like mental health more so. And if you talk to yourself, keep talking to yourself, because I feel like, you know, therapy is cool. I know people that do therapy. And I think that's awesome to do, just because for the people that need it and they need someone to talk to, and it helps them mentally like get through a lot of things, you know. But I mean, if you know you're talking to yourself, that's going to help too, just because it's you know, and you're already spouting out those problems and realizing how long it's been, where you've come from, you know, in the past, and seeing where you are now and how you're alive and well, and just being appreciative and be loving, you know, like, and always, and check up on people too. You know, check up on people, and I think that's it.
Yeah. Last question, potentially most importantly, cake or pie?
Cake.
What is best cake?
And I say that, but I don't really eat sweets like that. But cake, I would have to say marble cake. Like, I don't know. I think I would say Sam's, because like Sam's, I've had it before, their marble cake, and with the whipped cream icing, oh my gosh. It's so good. Like, if there's sometimes like I have like a sweet tooth, and like if I like go get that whole cake, I'm eating that by myself, bro. So, yes.
Psych the Wordsmith. Thank you so much for doing this with me.
Of course. No, I appreciate you.
Where can we find you and your things?
So SoundCloud, Psych The Wordsmith, PSYCH The Wordsmith, THEWORDSMITH. That's on SoundCloud, YouTube, Apple Music, Spotify. And if you want to listen to my old stuff, I'll be releasing old stuff under the Psyche name. Just kind of re-release stuff. Hopefully that'll be the next week or so. Just because I already got the tracks, I just got to put it out. And then I think Twitter is the same way too. Psych The Wordsmith, PSYCH, and Instagram as well. Yeah, forgot about Instagram. So yeah, that's where you can find me.
Amazing. Once again, thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
I'm Santiago Ramones.
Psych The Wordsmith.
What track is about to play?
Let's play Thinking About. Let's play that. Thinking About.
No, dude, I was gonna go over anyways because, like, I'm a badass friend like that. Like, I don't know about the rest of the people that we work with, they're all pieces of shits. But I show up. Like, if you invite me, I'm gonna show up because that's you taking the time and effort to creating or doing whatever and inviting me into your home. Like, the fuck?
I've been thinking about you. I've been thinking about me. I've been thinking about. Tell me what we gon' do. Tell me who we gon' see. I've been thinking about everything on my mind. Cause I've been up on the grind and I really wanna shine. I've been thinking about you. I've been thinking about you. I've been thinking about me. I've been thinking about. Tell me what we gon' do. Tell me who we gon' see. I've been thinking about everything on my mind. Cause I've been up on the grind and I really wanna shine. I've been thinking about. lot of topics for discussion. Collision head on no type of concussion. I be contemplating all of the functions. Time is against me, the clock keep on punching. Thought we had something, I guess it was nothing. I was the one who was catching the feelings, just to find out that you felt something different. Damn, wow. I messed up the vision. How did we get to this point? How did we get high together, connect like a joint? Why would you say that you feeling me just to verify my like is a being the voice of the horse when they walk through the door and they see what's in store? Just another man who don't know what to pour inside of the cup of the demons. This girl got me dreaming. I really be thinking that I got the juice, cause my bro tell me all the time that I got a boost with these other women that keeping me driven, but they don't understand. Nobody wanna cooperate, just like I gave with the code. I'm just calling for the digits, let me in with the spirits. I'm just trying to have a visit, I'm just trying to hold your hand. I don't ever wanna land, I'm just trying to expand. You know I gotta get a plan, goddamn. I've been thinking about, I was wrong anyway. I've been thinking about, move on to better days. I've been thinking about, you the one who was all in my soul, I ain't had no control. I was trying to do what was told, had the bottle in the middle, that was making me bold. Like, I've been thinking about you, I've been thinking about me, I've been thinking about, tell me what we gon' do, tell me who we gon' see. I've been thinking about everything on my mind, cause I've been up on the grind and I really wanna shine. I've been thinking about you, I've been thinking about you, I've been thinking about me, I've been thinking about, tell me what we gon' do, tell me who we gon' see. I've been thinking about everything on my mind, cause I've been up on the grind and I really wanna shine. I've been thinking about, this another one. Loud with the records, I need me another pump. About to go back to creating my videos. People be capping, I know they be silly though. Next I'll be diagramming with no Vizio. Knew this would happen, all ab initio. Having no contract without all the contact made it all worse and made the ignition slow. I ain't even mad, I just see it mixing with the consequences. That's alright, you know I see the definition. From that one decision, change the whole path of my life. That was Cam speaking to me, but I didn't listen. Stupid. That was Cam speaking to me, but I didn't listen. Now I see the vision, and I'm waiting on God when it comes to the music. Different people he be bringing in my life, I just don't wanna go ahead and lose it. Then fuse it with something else that will tarnish my soul, then confuse it. Don't make no sense when I done sin so much. He keep me improving with no Judas. I used to tell you everything, now I don't, and I know it's really hard. I'm a star in your eyes, but I'm seeing the demise with the way that we talk. Yeah, you show me how to walk, and you show me how to speak, how to really get my reach. But every time I tell you something, you put it on repeat. With the looks in the robe and the case not closed, cause you open all the evidence I gave and you let it unfold. Why you let it unfold? I've been thinking about you, I've been thinking about me, I've been thinking about, tell me what we gon' do, tell me who we gon' see. I've been thinking about everything on my mind, cause I've been up on the grind and I really wanna shine. I've been thinking about you, I've been thinking about me, I've been thinking about, tell me what we gon' do, tell me who we gon' see. I've been thinking about everything on my mind, cause I've been up on the grind and I really wanna shine. I've been thinking about rolling down the slippery slope, stay on point, I tip you through it. Won't you smile and give me hope, pray that you forgive me for it.
There's a bunch of shitty people who like try to fake themselves for me, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, I keep meeting people and they like fake themselves to fit in my world, and then like after, you know, I don't know, I'm a good observer and I watch them, I'm like, whoa, I was like, that's not even who you are, like why even fake yourself for me? But then I kind of realized, like I said, like, I get it. I'm the fucking trophy, I'm the catch, not them.
You can find everything that I do on my website, SantiagoRamones.com. I make music and produce audio. The music you're hearing now is music I made. You can listen to official releases by Santiago Ramones on Spotify, Apple Music, and the other streaming places. Or you can support me directly by buying my music on Bandcamp. I'm working on Hypothetical, my first singer-songwriter album, so if you'd like to hear that at some point, there are lots of ways to support me on my website. There's a Discord server in which we discuss deep topics from the podcast, but it's also a community of beautiful human beings. All the links to all my things are on my website, SantiagoRamones.com. Please take a moment to rate and review the podcast. It would mean a lot to me to hear what you have to say, and it lets others know what to expect, better than I could ever explain. I want to help the world have deeper conversations, so thank you for listening to and supporting Bit Depth. I was in the podcast with my 3 things. They shape my life philosophy. Those 3 things are: love never fails, it's going to be okay, I might be wrong.